Hi everyone, I'm Whitney Vogler with the Triscuit team, and I just wanted to welcome you all here today and thank you for coming to celebrate the launch of the Triscuit home farming movement. At Triscuit, we believe in simple goodness. Our cracker is made from just 3 simple ingredients: wheat, oil, and salt. And we want to encourage other people to experience the simple joys in life, like growing your own herbs and vegetables at home. That's why we're launching the home farming movement. We are thrilled to work with urban farming to create 50 community-based home farms, just like this one, across the country. These farms will connect people and communities through the experience of growing their own food. In addition to creating the 50 community-based home farms, we're helping people grow food at home. Just this month, we placed plantable herb seed cards in 4 million boxes of Triscuit crackers. They're flying off the shelf, so if you see one of these boxes at stores, you better go grab one. These seeds in the boxes can be grown at home. Anything from a pot in your kitchen to a backyard plot. Shows that it's just that easy. And to help connect home farmers, we launched a new website, triscuit.com/homefarming. It's an interactive community where both beginner and green thumb pros can connect and share their information about growing fresh food at home or in communities. Thanks for coming to the groundbreaking here in San Francisco. I'd like to introduce you to Taja Seville, Urban Farming Executive Founder and Director, whose vision has helped us bring the home farming movement to life.
Thank you so much, Whitney, and everybody at Triscuit. How's everybody doing today? I really appreciate that everybody came out. We have a wonderful crowd of people, and it just shows us how many people are interested in farming. I'd like to take one moment to thank a few folks that have come out. The folks from the Tenderloin Neighborhood Development Corporation, Stephen Wu, obviously Carlene Eberly and Meg Glasser from Urban Farming, which we're really excited to have here, that helped us so much, and Pastor Megan Rohr from the Bethlehem Lutheran Church. I'd also like to thank Michael Tilley, Jim Lowe, and Christian Tremley from and everybody at the Triscuit team, and also everybody at the Urban Farming team. Just want to tell you a little bit about why we're here and who we are. Again, my name is Taja Seville. I'm the founder and executive director of Urban Farming. Urban Farming is a nonprofit organization that plants food on unused land and space and gives it to people in need. We started in Detroit, Michigan with 3 gardens in 2005. We now have the equivalent of over 800 gardens across the country and abroad. And we're so happy to be starting here in San Francisco and breaking ground right behind us, where we will be planting some food just moments away. We are very excited to be partnered with Triscuit this year to plant 50 community-based home farms in 20 cities across the United States. It's a very exciting project, and we're also encouraging people to get back to the simple goodness, the simple basic of growing your own food at home. So in addition to these 50 community farms, community-based home farms, we really want people to start thinking about planting at home. One of the things that I'd like to let people know, when I started urban farming in 2005, I started to find out about the Victory Gardens. During World War II, 20 million Americans planted Victory Gardens in their yards, and they grew almost half of our nation's produce supply. And I started thinking about that. That was before the internet. That was before all of these cameras here. All the different ways, Twitter, that we can, stay connected. They were able to galvanize that many people together in just a couple of years and have them plant in their yards. And, they grew 40%, that's almost half of our nation's produce supply. So when you think about that, we really can get rid of hunger in our generation. And what we're excited at home farming, with this home farming movement, is that if people start planting at home, we're in a new century, we can recreate that, and this time make it sustainable. So we're very excited about that. So in a moment, we'll be planting some food, but I would really like to call up Astrid Harriet to the podium, and she is going to have a few things to say about this project. And so again, I want to thank everybody for coming out, and it looks like everybody here is into gardening, and from what I've been talking to everybody knows what they're doing. So we're all excited to start planting food. I just want you to know the food from this garden will go to people in need, and so there'll be 4 seasons here. There'll be plenty of food coming from this 20 by 20 foot garden. So thank you again so much, and I'd like to hand it over to Astrid.
Good morning, everyone.
I have met many of you who's been working on the greening of the city, whether it's on the streetscape and our parks and our effort in improving our community garden and certainly in the local food production. I want to again thank Taja from Urban Farming and Craft Triscuit for this fantastic partnership. The public-private partnership is the kind of thing that we're looking for to improve the supplies of our local foods. And certainly this is direct mandates for the mayor to actually look beyond the obvious. We look beyond the city operation and the fact of city ownership of land like this one, where Urban Farming and Triscuit actually sign a lease with the real estate department to actually work with this land. This land actually has been vacant for some time. We continue to look for activating this area, certainly being the Civic Center and the edge of Tenderloin community. This and many other community gardens around the city, including the Hayes Valley Garden and certainly the Growing Home gardens right around the neighborhood also, is a fantastic and physical implementation of what the mayor continued to be of his priority for the local food production. We also have an exciting design contest that we started late last year with Digging Deeper, a group of 3 coalition design groups in the city. In looking to innovative ideas in terms of products, in terms of business system, in terms of the overall network of opportunity around the city. And this is the kind of thing that we would like to share with all of you. I believe Charlie will be speaking later on in regards to how San Franciscan can tap into that immediate information on the website. And we'd love to hear folks who actually vote for their favorites. We are learning from those innovative ideas to see how we can energize the kind of known strategies that we have in our hand, the toolbox that we have in our hand. We're looking forward to actually have an exciting expansion of this program. So without further ado, we want to bring you the green champion of the city, Mayor Gavin Newsom.
Thanks, Astrid, and thank you all very much for being out here. We're definitely in an urban setting because I couldn't hear a damn word that you said or others, and hopefully you can. But I appreciate the opportunity to be here and to build on the legacy that we advanced a number of years ago when we decided we needed to step up and lead by example in terms of the issues of urban farming and really focus on building a different kind of narrative for environmental stewardship that included a framework of public health and wellness and prevention, and that is a focus on what we eat and how we procure our food and how that food is transported and what it means to our environment and what it means to our economy and what it means to our diverse communities in this city. We organized a work group, a task force with some of the best and the brightest minds in terms of that procurement and transportation and health and wellness. And we got them into a room and they created the framework with Alice Waters and others to invite the world to San Francisco to have a slow foods conference that we held about 1.5 years or so ago with some of the best and the brightest minds from continents, large and small, that descended upon San Francisco and Fort Mason for a week-long celebration of what's good and right in the world of food and sustainability. We marked significantly a large victory garden in front of Civic Center City Hall, and we were mocked by the press. There were caricatures and cartoons saying we were a bunch of nuts, literally in this case, not just figuratively, out in San Francisco and the West Coast. And the sort of yuppification and sort of Berkeleyification of San Francisco was alive and well, and people started making fun of Alice Waters a little bit more. And even the former mayor, my friend Willie Brown, had a column where he said, what's next? Are they going to put sheep and cattle in front of City Hall with this crazy garden idea? He was having fun, tongue-in-cheek. He was actually supportive, but nonetheless, we were a point of ridicule. And that's where we always like to be in San Francisco, because we know we're on the cutting edge if we're being ridiculed. And, of course, the consequence of that is a lot of people photographed the Victory Garden, and we celebrated it. We had a lot of wonderful community meetings. We harvested the food, went to our food bank, went to our local homeless shelters in the area, and we brought people together, and we worked with our public schools and started focusing about edible schoolyards and a different framework of education as it relates to sustainability, a focus, as my friend Bill McDonough talks about, a cradle to cradle, and the fact there are no shortcuts in life, in a world full of shortcuts, in a world that those shortcuts, of course, magnified in the context of financial deregulation and the financial problems that we're all experiencing, the macroeconomy, because people tried to take shortcuts, and you just simply can't with seasons, and you can't with seeds, and you can't necessarily in terms of a narrative around education that we're trying to advance in our public schools that go to the principles that we're celebrating here today. So that's a long-winded introduction to this. Of course, all of that came home in Washington, D.C. when a new administration took office and Michelle Obama decided to plant a garden of her own in the front of the White House, and then all of a sudden everyone said, boy, San Francisco, they're mainstream. They're in the mainstream movement. It's good that San Francisco finally took the lead of the Obamas, of course forgetting completely that we were the head of the curve and we were the first to get mocked. And I had the privilege and pleasure of being with the First Lady and about 2 months ago, and sharing with her the story of our Victory Garden and comparing notes in terms of her wellness initiatives and anti-obesity initiatives, and told her to pay attention to what's next in San Francisco, because we know good enough never is. There is no having made it, and we got to keep stretching, and we got to keep raising the bar, and that's what we're doing here today. We're raising the bar yet again. We're continuing to stretch. We got 15 of these Victory Gardens that are now permanent since the big Victory Garden was pulled down in front of Civic Center, and here we are looking at plots of land. We have a food policy that was advanced through this urban-rural food partnership that we created, the first of its kind in the state of California. That food policy is going to be advanced with an ordinance that will codify some of the recommendations of those policies. We've done surveys of vacant lands throughout San Francisco, and then we're seeding with money, not just actual seeds, the community to replenish and renew their neighborhoods by taking these old vacant lots and putting these community gardens in and building partnerships with nonprofit organizations like TNDC, where folks that live in the housing can also procure their work in a way that's sustainable and benefits them directly. And those that actually toil get the benefits of that hard work in the context of being able to have the produce that they're cultivating and bring it home to their families. And I just think all this is a great thing. I am not being eloquent, but I am trying to sort of express through some semblance of verbiage my passion for this and my belief in this. And I really think, in light of the president today signing the health care reform, that this is the real reform of health care, that we can talk about access, and access is important, but you've got to focus on prevention and wellness, and that's where you drive down costs and truly save lives. And that's what we're celebrating here today, an appropriate bookmark from Washington, D.C. out into communities as diverse as ours in San Francisco. And so I'm very thankful of that, and I'm very thankful that all of you are here. I'm thankful of Triscuit. I'm thankful for all the good work, urban farming, and the leadership that came from Detroit. Don't count Detroit out. It's still, this is part of the renewal of Detroit and Michigan, and we're thankful you're bringing it to cities large and small across the country. I'm thankful to Astrid Ayardi and her team, and to all those folks at City Hall that actually believe in this and are fighting for this and want to make this a bigger, bigger, bigger part of San Francisco's fate and future. To our friends in the design world, where we want to celebrate creativity and celebrate that creativity in the context of procuring different strategies to solve problems and connecting those dots, I thank you for being part of this as well. And to all of our tenants at TNDC, for your commitment in the long term to make sure that this day is not a day that will be forgotten, but a day will be remembered, because you'll be out here day in and day out making sure that we celebrate the efforts in a sustainable and long-term way. So thank you all very much. I'm not going to keep you anymore. You're going to get sunburned. And I want to just thank our neighbors for allowing us to make all this noise and indulging us in this new urban farm. Thank you all very, very much. Come on up.
Thank you so much, Mayor Newsom. I'd like to turn it over to Charlie Sheldon with Digging Deeper.
All right. There's the design.
Thank you very much, Mayor Newsom, and thanks to Astrid Hariati and the people at Urban Farming for making this all possible. We tried to do our part. First off, my name is Charlie Sheldon. I represent the Industrial Designers Society of America. It's the professional organization of people that build products, everything that you can imagine in terms of mass-produced products. And we decided that we weren't really focusing on the right things. So we talked with the Graphic Designers Association, the AIGA, the Interaction Designers Association, and we decided to put together with our great partners, some very non-traditional partners for the design community, a competition. And this competition it took many shapes, and we decided that the design brief for this had to come from the city. We couldn't sit in a room and sketch out what we thought would be best. We had to have, the people that know what's going on the ground come and tell us what we should be designing and what we should prioritize when we design that. So we had Astrid come in and give a long brief, and we videotaped it, and we put it out to the entire design community, members, non-members, people in San Francisco, people all over the country, and had them get together and form multidisciplinary teams to design any sort of intervention, from service to new products to sustainable chicken coops. Maybe there will be cattle and sheep eventually on the roof of the mayor's office. But the wonderful benefit of all this was that we had not only products, but we also had all these really interesting services where we used technology and we used some really creative envisioning for how a farmer communicates with the person that's actually going to eat their food, and how the grower here in an urban community can communicate with people that have the land, and ways to get around having the land. Vertical gardens, aquaponics, hydroponics, aeroponics, cheap ways to compost, cheap ways to do this, accessible ways where we can actually get things off the ground. And when this competition was coming to an end, we all thought, wait a second, we've built this for the community, and now we need to turn around and invite the community to really give us your opinion. So what we've done, and it's a little bit too small here to see, but you can go to diggingdeepersf.ning.com. That is the site where we have all the information about the competition. You can view all of the different entries: product, service, retrofit, business plan, everything, and vote on the one that you think is the most important, is the best one for the community. And we've created this category, the People's Choice Award, because it's incredibly important that we have this input. So please spread it around, let people know, go on the website, vote for what you feel is important, and let us know what we should prioritize in the next round, because we're going to try to do this again and again. Can you hear me? We're urban. So we're going to try to do this competition again, and we're going to try to bracket things forward and provide, through a completely volunteer effort, as many options and innovations for the city to move forward in this, because I believe in it, and I'm sure everyone else does. And when you see some of these ideas, you will believe in it definitely too. So with that, I'd like to thank a couple folks. The mayor's office has been a wonderful key partner in this, for supporting us and helping us get all the right information in. The AIGA, that's the Graphic Artists Association, the Interaction Designers Association, and the Industrial Designers Association have all come together to make this happen. All the key stakeholders who volunteered to, Alan, yes, Alan Wells, Linda Angela, Kristen Bouvier, and many others who have really worked incredibly tirelessly to get this to happen. So please go to the website, vote, and with that, I'd like to introduce someone else who's been doing some really important work in the city, Steve Wu from the Tenderloin Neighborhood Development Corporation. Thank you.
All right. What's up, everyone? My name is Steve. I'm from Tenderloin Neighborhood Development. Most of you know us for developing affordable housing in the Tenderloin, but you may also not know we do have a community organizing department, and we get our residents involved in taking leadership roles and in making change in their community. And so that's what our role is around this garden, is generating resident community volunteer support. for this garden. So first of all, I want to thank a few people, though. John Updike in the city. John Updike has been really great in letting us use this space. He's been very cooperative in helping us cut through the bureaucratic red tape. And also the folks at Saluna Cafe behind me have been really great. It's a nice little lounge. You guys should check it out. And thank you for letting us stand outside your restaurant and work the garden. So I just want to say that for those of you that don't know about our neighborhood, the Tenderloin, we have the highest saturation of off-site liquor licenses in the entire city. If you take a walk down our neighborhood, you can see every half block a liquor store. Yet we have no grocery store, and that poses a very tough public health challenge for our neighborhood, our community. Our residents suffer on a day-to-day basis not having access to fresh food that's affordable. So this garden here is one attempt by TNDC to address that solution. I do want to bring up another attempt that another of our attempts to address the lack of access to fresh food is that we try to build a grocery store in the Tenderloin. If you come to our offices, we can show you our plans to build a grocery store. We can show you the plot of land that we've purchased to build a grocery store, but we can't show you a grocer who wants to move into that plot of land at Eddy and Taylor. Everything is set. We just need a grocer. However, we've approached about 40 grocers, and none of them want to move into our neighborhood. The main reason they cite is a lacking profitability, and that was a stark realization to us that 40 grocers would turn us down, saying that our neighborhood is not profitable. And so that is a huge challenge for us, that we have a neighborhood full of people who need food, but because it's not profitable, they can't get food. So this garden here is really more than just a beautification, a plot of land to beautify our neighborhood. Even more than producing some food for the participant, it's really, we're hoping to be a symbol of awareness about our issues in this neighborhood, about the lack of fresh food, and about what residents have to go through on a day-to-day basis. So with that, I thank you guys for coming, and I hope you stick around for the first planting of our garden, and thank you.
Thank you very much to all of our speakers for coming today. Just give them a quick round of applause, guys. They were all fantastic. At this point, everyone, I'm going to ask you guys to stand right up, because now's the time for action. We're going to get everyone to walk over to the garden behind me. We're going to start farming with our golden shovel ceremony with all our speakers. So if everyone wants to join me over here.
We actually do a little work. Very happy. Ready to get your hand dirty, Mariners. Unbelievable. Yeah. Unbelievable. Where's the water?
All right, if everybody wants to go to this pit over here.
We got plants right here for you guys. If you guys want to get lined up, we're going to start on this corner right here. Basil, raise your hand. Someone over in that corner, raise your hand. Adam over there. These girls are going to hook you guys up. Come on in here, and we're going to get you guys planting. We've got gloves for you guys as well. Kneel board.